How do museums survive, and how do museums like the Australian Museum survive since what, 1827? I think what is apparent is that there are some, why do people like me, 5 years after retiring, still come in on a regular basis? And I think that even so, a lot of our technicians will be quite happy to work way after 5 o'clock. They're not looking at the clock. They might occasionally because they've got to catch a train. But I think it's because there's a group of very dedicated scientists and collection managers. Even I think it's interesting that even in the prep shop or exhibitions, some of those people have really spent their careers here because it is an amazing place to work. I think a lot of people come to the museum because they don't necessarily regard it as a job almost. It's something they want to do. They want to communicate either the science or the collections to the public. So, and I would hope that we will continue to survive. Things change. Think about, we didn't have a molecular lab when I first arrived. So now we have collections not only stored in alcohol in a spirit house, but we have them stored in the freezers and things like this. So I think, and some of those collections can be reused. You can perhaps see where various animals, where records of animals were in Sydney, which are no longer there because of housing developments and things like that. So you can see changes. We need to, I think, in the future, we need to constantly be providing information to government in terms of biodiversity conservation, sort of management issues. We need to continue to remain relevant, and I think the days, I think I said earlier, where people just sat in offices and described their animals are probably almost long gone. We need to become socially aware, get into the media. It's like the conference at the end of this month. We've had to record our talks because it won't be a live conference, but then we're going to be able to distribute those talks through the media channels. Last year I gave an online lecture to some students in Rio de Janeiro, and then we got a copy of that, and we've been able to distribute that quite widely here in Australia, and people have been actually listening to it. So I think we need to just we just need to make sure that we're out there and remembered as that we exist.